in the courtyard leading to the villa's entrance. Li Weiniang informed the protagonist that these are the butlers and maids who make sure the villa is well managed. They unanimously greeted the new master on the property. The general manager informed Xingwang that they will set up the automatic gate recognition system for him, so he should go in. A bit later, she got a briefcase from one of her people, and said that all the property certificates as well as the other documents have been prepared, so he should review them in order to make sure that all is alright. The protagonist was thinking that this is a 300 million luxury home, while he is just a country bumpkin, so he should be careful with these documents. Inside the briefcase there was a leather-wrapped folder, and Xingwang was thinking that it looks premium. He then closed the briefcase and asked manager Li to lead the way. She was thinking that a tycoon like Mr. Hang can't be bothered to check the property deed of a 300 million yuan villa. She then invited the young rich man to check more of the new home, and then explained that they hired top landscapers to design the private garden of the villa, and the interior decor was done by renowned international designers. At the same time, she was thinking that Hang Xingwang is a low-profile wealthy man from a hidden family, and is probably afraid of getting too much attention and having his family exposed or getting kidnapped. The protagonist was thinking that the landscaping is really nice, but, considering his parents' preferences, he should plan for a garden plot so he can plant some vegetables for when his mom and dad will visit. It is a beautiful courtyard, as expected of a luxury residential area, but it would look better with some string beans and bitter squash. She announced him that if something is not to his liking, they can contact the designers for modifications. He answered that he will think about it, while thinking that it needs some redesigning as there are too many impractical things and his parents won't like it. In the next moment, he received a system notification saying that he was rewarded 99,999 points, a new system skin for showing arrogance. He was surprised to see the skin, and the system said that when the host enters a new life stage, so does the system. Li Weiniang was thinking that even top designers cannot satisfy him. He must be from a truly prestigious family. Shen then said that acquiring the most beautiful villa in the district at such a young age means that his future is limitless, so when her CEO heard about Xingwang's generous spending, he instructed them to treat him well, saying that he will pay him a visit when he returns from his business trip. The protagonist answered that there is no need for that as he didn't spend that much. She said that it's their duty as they are hoping for his continued support. At the same time, she was wondering how rich is his family to say that 300 million is not much. 300 million isn't much money? The two continued the tour of the villa. After the courtyard tour, she invited him inside, to also check the interior. In a neighboring villa, a woman asked her butler, Mr. Zhang, who bought the villa. He answered that a young man with the surname Hang, who seems to be in his 20s. That information caught her attention. The butler asked if she wants him to look into his background. She answered that there is no need for that, as he is someone that bought a 300 million villa, he is not ordinary. Plus, he might find out about the investigation and feel offended. She then asked him to pick a suitable gift, so they can pay him a visit soon. At Duojin Media office, they were in full celebration mode. Xingwang announced that after 3 months of hard work, their media company is finally open for business. He then thanked director Gao Wen for training all the models, so everyone has to work really hard so they can gain amazing rewards. The streamers were excited to start working, they were enthusiastic for the opportunity. Gao was also really happy to have joined Xingwang to start Duojin Media. 3 months ago, Gao Wen was surprised to hear that she doesn't have to live stream anymore. The protagonist explained that they don't have good quality staff at this point, and she is the best streamer out there, so she is their best option to train new hires. If she prioritizes hiring and training new talent, half of their profits will be hers. She asked if it isn't too much money, and he answered that she is the founding heroine of Duojin Media. She can offer expertise in the live streaming domain as she is familiar with the process, understands the direction of account operation and how to attract attention. He cannot do this without her. Also, after the company stabilizes, she can switch to live streaming in front of the camera, if that's what she wishes. But she immediately answered that she wants to be behind the scenes. In the morning of another day, He Shui was scrolling his feed when he stumbled onto the Duojin Media's account. He noticed that they have signed up with a lot of streamers. He was thinking that no one in their right mind would start a streaming company from scratch. Duojin Media has no chance competing with him and Meow Meow Media. A man showed up in the office and said that Duojin Media is right across the street from them, and asked if they are looking for a fight. He Shui called the man boss and asked if his family doing well before saying that he is working on a plan to handle the new media company. The Golden Tooth Man said that they should handle them the usual way, to show them who is the real boss in the live streaming industry. Manager he agreed to the plan like a loyal dog. Around the same time, Xingwang was in his office. He was unsatisfied with how top designers arrange houses nowadays, He wanted something that doesn't look terrible. His expensive villa needs to look both luxurious and creative. Then, someone knocked on his door and he invited them in. It was Gao Wen, and she announced that their streamers received park invitations from Meow Meow Media streamers, and they all have at least 1 million followers. She then showed him the messages she got from their models. Seeing all the messages of the worried live streamers, Xingwang said that this is Meow Meow Media's old trick. They make their streamers with millions of followers to bully small streamers that have only thousands of followers. He was thinking that this is a clear tactic to show that they are the local powerhouse to any new streaming company, but this time, they picked on the wrong opponent. The protagonist then asked if Park isn't just about gift revenue, and if it's like that, they should accept the challenge. Gao asked if he is planning to spend money in order to send rockets to the new streamers. And he asked if he was that clear with his intentions. That's the moment when Gao Wen realized that her top donor, Brother Wang, is actually Xingwang. He said that money is only money when you spend it, because if it's in your hand, it's just numbers. She said that he should still spend it wisely because over half of them go towards channel fees and platform cuts. She was thinking that he spent millions for the contract cancellation, and even more on rockets for her. No one has unlimited money. He said that life is short and you cannot take the money with you to the grave, plus, this is more like an investment. They need this hype, as the idea of small streamers winning against ones with millions of followers will bring curious people to watch their streamers. Also, Gao Wen should trust her skills and training, so as long as the viewers come to their live streams and retain them, Duojin Media wins. Xingwang then assured her that he knows what he is doing, and he will make sure that she earns money steadily and securely. Gao Wen was thinking that their minds work different. He already spent hundreds of millions, a couple more is probably nothing. Also, he handled operations at Meow Meow Media and has good marketing strategies. She decided to trust him because he also trusts her. Moments later, Gao entered the streaming room. A couple of the models asked what should they do because if they accept, they will lose. She announced that they will all accept the challenge. Sometime later after Duojin Media accepted the challenge, the protagonist was checking the streams. He noticed that the Meow Meow models were receiving way more gifts than the models from his company. But he had no reason to worry. He also checked to see what the other media companies think about this confrontation, and mostly, everyone was pessimistic about Duojin Media having a chance in the industry. They were also talking about the bet the two companies made, the loser has to change its name. But Xingwang was more worried about how to style his new villa. Gao Wen entered his office to report on the situation. She said that Meow Meow Media prepared well for this park. They have all their big shots sending loads of rockets. But she prepared their own accounts with lots of money and asked when should they start. Xingwang answered that it's not the time yet, they need to wait until the viewership is at its peak. She agreed but admitted that she's getting a bit impatient. The protagonist told her to make sure that the streamers' motivation is up and they are at their peak performance, because they will get bonuses if they do well. Manager he was ready to celebrate early their victory. He was thinking that it doesn't matter that they lost Gao Wen, they can make millions in revenue in no time. The boss said that there is no reason to celebrate the fact that they beat a small company. He was thinking that they got a lot of money out of the breach of contract, but losing Gao Wen stings a bit. He then noticed something. In a chat group, someone was saying that Gao Wen left Meow Meow and established her own media company, Duojin, and that's why their business model feels similar. That pissed off the boss and asked Shui why didn't he tell him about this. The manager was trying to hide the fact that he's been slacking off. And said that Gao Wen charmed a rich guy and convinced him to pay her breach of contract fee, and probably is thinking now that she can be a boss because she made some millions in the past. The boss said that it's alright as long as they win the park. An employee rushed into the office and announced that they are in trouble, because the rival streamers are getting way more rockets and gifts. Manager he remembered when Gao Wen received a huge wave of rockets and crushed her rival, it cannot happen again to all the streams at the same time. Shui told his boss that they are probably fake boosting their own streamers, but Meow Meow already has a huge advantage. The boss said that they cannot afford to lose this, and manager he said that it's only one wave, so no worries. The employee couldn't believe what he is seeing. He then screamed that it's starting again. The Duojin Media streamers were getting an unlimited number of rockets, more than what they could keep up with. The boss was angry, and asked manager if he still thinks that it will be just one wave. They ordered him to crush their rivals. Back to Duojin Media, Xingwang was tapping insanely fast in order to send the rocket waves. At the same time, he was getting lots of rewards for the money he was spending. Gao Wen was asking why is he still spending money when they are winning already. She was thinking that their rivals don't even have a park bar left. Also brother Wang is Hang Xingwang, he didn't even bother to switch his account, also he is beyond rich. Xingwang declared that their rivals haven't seen real money, but he is going to show them how it's done. Looking at the stream, she was thinking that this is more than just showing off. The protagonist called her name and she said that she's present. He said that their goal is to be untouchable, the top players no one can compete with. He then told her to go boost the team's morale and remind the Meow Meow Media Group to change their name. The woman left the office with confidence, and Xinguang was thinking that he found his dream setup. No more purple sandalwood and no more French vintage style, this is what he wants. He then got curious about how much money did he make this time. The number was so big that he was struggling to read it. Various mainstream media companies were scrambling to get more information about Duogene Media, as well to secure exclusive interviews. At the streaming platform company, the management was discussing that Duogene Media appeared out of nowhere and gained more followers than any other company, and the CEO wanted to negotiate directly with them. At Duogene Media, the streamers were thanking everyone for the gifts and were announcing the end of the stream. They were tired and sweaty after long hours of constant streaming. Seeing their boss, they excitedly announced that they won, even if at the beginning they didn't have much hope. Xinguang announced that the revenue will be split among them according to their contract, and that made them really happy. The system announced that the host is getting a small reward for being generous. Xinguang whined that the system rewards fluctuate too much. Gao Wen was in the back, happy to see that all of their models are celebrating the fact that they became rich overnight. At Meow Meow Media, the boss and manager he were angry and frustrated. They were checking some comments, and all of them were positive towards Duogene Media. People were saying that this was a good event for the new company, as their streamers made lots of followers. Also, the company treats their models really well, and shared a lot of money with them. The secretary asked the boss if they should change their name, as Duogene Media has published live stream clips where they tagged Meow Meow, and asked them to keep their promise. The atmosphere was really gloomy in the office, and the boss had one more reason to get annoyed with manager He. The situation was too much for the secretary and she left. The boss slapped He Shui, saying that it wasn't just one wave, it was 500 million worth of donations, and because of him Meow Meow became a laughingstock. Manager He said that they also made money, so it's not all bad. The boss dared his employee to say that again. He then said that if Gao Wen would have been with them, 100 out of the 500 million would have been theirs. And that was only one night. If that sponsor liked Gao Wen that much, all that money would have flown into Meow Meow Media eventually. He Shui said that her sponsor looked like a broke loser before. The boss said that he shouldn't judge the poor, also it was him that was blind and couldn't see he was someone of great wealth. He also heard that manager He treated Gao Wen poorly, and that's why she ended up leaving. Manager He said that it's also the boss's fault for allowing it to happen. That completely pissed him off and kicked the manager out of his office. At Duogene Media, Gao Wen asked Xinguang if it's okay to spend that much, because she did the math and out of the 500 million, they will be left with 180 million. The protagonist said that they didn't spend that much, and she said that it was a lot, they spent 400 million. He said that he only added 200 million to his account and the rest came from the customers after the popularity increased. Plus, the platform offered them 100 million worth of gifts which they will use later, so they didn't spend much. She was thinking that 200 million is definitely a lot of money, and he was thinking that he never thought that the day when he says that 200 million isn't much would come. Xinguang then added that this is like spending 1 to gain 10,000, the coverage they got is worth all the money, because some companies spend around the same amount to promote a streamer, while they promoted almost all of theirs. He then thanked Gao Wen for helping him with the company and for all the work she put into training the new talent. Her future will shine brightly. Plus, success only breeds more success, so now that they are popular, they will end up making even more money. Things will be easier in the future, and he wants to invest into variety shows and dramas, so their models can be in the spotlight. His phone started ringing. The renovation company called him in order to start styling his villa. He then said that he will leave everything to Gao Wen because he is busy with the renovation. She will have to handle the bonus calculation for the models and to not be stingy, also to include her own share. His philosophy is that if everyone is happy, they will make even more money. She said that she understood and will start immediately. Mr. Zhang, the butler, came to visit the protagonist at his villa. Inside, the workers were restyling the house to his tastes. Xinguang was working hard giving them instructions. He then noticed the guest right behind him. The butler said that he heard that they have a new neighbor and decided to offer a small welcome gift. The protagonist was thinking that Mr. Zhang looks like a butler of a rich family from a TV drama. He was considering getting a butler in the future. He then took off his gloves and apologized for the mess, as the house is in renovation and he is also dirty and looks funny. The butler apologized for arriving unannounced, but because they are neighbors and will interact often, wanted to visit in advance and get to know each other. Xingwang was thinking that this neighborhood of wealthy people is quite different, even the butler is polite and courteous. The gift also seems substantial and is even decorated with precious metals. Xingwang said that he really appreciates the gift, and after he finishes with the renovation, he will make sure to visit him. Later in the day, around lunch, the protagonist was thinking that he worked a lot and didn't even take a break. Someone called and announced that they are going to have a class reunion and invited him. Because his crush from university will also be there, he should definitely come. He was thinking that class reunions are just occasions for people to compare each other, and he used to be the poorest student and was always mocked, but this time, things are different. Xingwang agreed to go to the reunion. The man on the other side of the call was surprised by how easy he was to convince, probably because his crush is coming. At the villa owned by Ping Xiaoxiao, Mr. Zhang reported that the new neighbor is gentle and polite, even showed respect despite being a butler. He added that the protagonist seems like a good person and also hard-working. Mrs. Ping said that she understands. She then heard something. And knew that she has a certain unwanted visitor. A blonde man accompanied by a blonde woman entered the room. Ping Xiaoxiao stated that she told him many times to not bring any people in here. He asked what is wrong with her. His companion is her future sister-in-law. He had his fun and now is ready to settle down. The blonde woman asked if Mrs. Ping has any misconceptions about her. But Xiaoxiao refused to even talk with her. The blonde woman continued saying that maybe she should leave because she doesn't want to affect the relationship between the two siblings. The brother said that his sister is only being dramatic and fussy, so she should ignore her. Those comments absolutely annoyed Ping Xiaoxiao. The brother said that she should remember what their grandfather said, in order to inherit the fortune, they need to be married. He then asked if she is jealous of him. She answered that she just turned 20 and is not as opportunistic as him, willing to lose face just for some inheritance. Also, not everyone can enter their family, because it depends on their grandfather to approve the wedding. Thank you for watching the 5th part of the series, The Ultimate Wantless Godly Rich System. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I am really excited about the next part because of the reunion. Also, the new girl seems nice. Let me know your thoughts. Goodbye.